So today I'm going to show you how to make your own latex glove bagpipe, which I have here. I couldn't find a good complete explanation online, so I decided to make my own. Here's a demonstration. And all these parts you can get at your hardware store. It'll cost you maybe $5 or $10 total. And it took me about an hour or two to make, and you don't need any power tools. So let's get started. Here's the tools you'll need. The awl at the top is really handy, and so is the X-Acto knife in the bottom left here. In terms of supplies, we got some rubber bands, we need some bits of plastic bag about 3 inches square, latex glove, we need some black rubber hose there, about a foot of that, needs to be smaller than your piping, and then the plastic piping and supplies. You can get most of all this at any hardware store. You need 4 PVC tees. They need to be about 1/2 inch size and about 6 inches of the PVC 1/2 inch pipe. Although if you measure that PVC, the actual diameter is about 7/8 of an inch, even though it's called 1/2 inch pipe. The shark bite or PEX tubing here, it's also called 1/2 inch pipe. You need about 2 feet of it, a little bit more. But if you measure it, it'll be about 5/8 of an inch, but you want the 1/2 inch size. And then this adapter here, this one came with a vacuum cleaner tool that I bought, but it just needs to fit, on the one end it needs to fit on top of your PVC adapter. The other end needs to fit roughly on your latex glove. So if it'll fairly well fit that latex glove, it's a good size. You can get some other PVC adapters. PVC Union, as this thing is called, might work instead. If you can't find the right kind of adapter, you can look for a PVC Union if you find the right size. You want to take your PVC pipe and cut it so you have 4 little pieces, just about an inch long or a little more than an inch long each. And the best tool for cutting that is probably a hacksaw, or if you have a conduit cutter, it's going to be even better. So you want to saw those up, get 4 little pieces set. And then you'll also want to cut your PEX pipe. And for that, it's really soft. So you could use a utility knife, you could use a hacksaw, you can use most anything. A kitchen knife would probably cut it too. Once you cut it, you want 2 pieces. They have to be exactly the same length. I used 305 millimeters, and that gave me a bagpipe roughly in the key of B flat. So make sure when you cut your 2 pieces, they're flat on both ends, about exactly the same length. I recommend 305 millimeters if you want to use my same calculations. And then if the ends aren't flat, you want to take some sandpaper and just kind of spin it like this until they're nice and smooth, especially on the top end. But both ends should be pretty smooth, pretty square. Once all your cutting is done, you can assemble most of the bagpipes. We got some of these little 1/2 inch connectors with the PVC tees. Here's another tee there. Here's another tee there. You should have an assembly like that. And then into this opening, you have a PVC connector like this, kind of stuffed in there. And you're going to put the rubber hose in there. But if it doesn't fit snugly, if it's too loose, then you want to wrap it in masking tape or something like this until it fits really snugly and there's no loss and no leaking of air. Now on top of this, in this first one, you want to put your adapter, whatever kind of adapter you got, this adapter there, with the latex glove. I've already wrapped the latex glove onto that adapter and then put packing tape all around so it's a nice snug fit that it's airtight. On the top of each of these adapters here, you want a square of plastic bag. I got mine from a grocery bag. Just cut it out and then put one over that side. You can get your rubber band doubled over like so, doubled or tripled over, and wrap it around like that. And the same thing on the other side. Get that on there. Double over your rubber band first. Snap that on there. And ideally this is going to be real smooth here. You might have to pull it from beneath and stretch it out so it fits real smoothly onto each of those sides. So now if you take one of your PVC pipes or your shark bite, if you fit it in here, you'll notice it's going to be pretty loose. It's not going to fit very well, and that's ideal, but you need to make it airtight right here. So the best way I found to do that is to wrap it in tape. So right about there, there's a good thick layer of masking tape, and mine is, I don't know, a 1/16 of an inch, a couple millimeters there. So it's a nice thick layer. So when you fit that inside, it's going to fit nice and snug, and it should, up at the top here, it should be pressed right there. It should be pressed pretty tightly against the plastic bag. At this point, you got your your drone and your chanter installed, you should see here it's pressed against the plastic bag. So if you can't see it pressing against and kind of lifting up the plastic bag there a little bit, that's a problem. And then make sure these are really tight. If you blow into your tube now at this point, you should get a sound. But if it sounds really terrible, here's some of the issues. First of all, this blue needs to be pressed against the plastic bag, and this needs to be tight. Right now, this side, the rubber band is not tight enough, so I'm going to tighten it first. But here's how you can tell which side is working. If you cover up one with your finger and blow, so if I cover this one, I can see the other one is sounding nice and clear. If I cover this one and press here, and I blow, this one is just leaking air. So this one I have to tighten. At this point, you should be able to get a sound out of both tubes. Now, if you're having problems, if it sounds really, really bad, like this, maybe you have a little leak in one of these. You know, these plastic bags are real thin, which seems to vibrate well, but if there's a leak, you need to fix it. Maybe this isn't tight enough, but ultimately, if they're the same length, you should get the same note. And if you watch me adjust it as I am blowing into it, I'm kind of just barely adjusting the rubber band here, and I get the exact same pitch. And so at some point, you'll need to adjust those and tune it. Once you get it to actually play some notes and make a sound, you want to take one of those tubes out. I'm taking out the left one on mine. That's called the chanter. And you need to start cutting the finger holes. Let me show you how that works. You want to find wherever that hole is, and I'll tell you about how to find and make a little dot where you're going to put that hole, wherever that hole is going to be. Once you got a good dot there, you're going to take the awl. This is called an awl here, and you want to rest the butt of your palm there and kind of poke it in. Get a nice little starter hole there. It should be real small, like 2 millimeters. Once you get a nice little starter hole, you're going to take just normal sharp household scissors and place those scissors inside, and just kind of one blade inside and just kind of twist it like so until you get the right size. Usually the holes are between 5 and 8 millimeters in diameter. And this pipe is really, really soft. I don't recommend PVC. I recommend the SharkBite for this because it's so soft you don't need power tools. Once you get that hole cut out, it's going to be a little bit ragged, a little bit rough. I recommend taking an X-Acto knife and kind of scraping out the inside to get a nice, smooth, circular hole there. And any excess fiber you want to snip off and get any of the excess plastic junk out of there until you have a nice, round, smooth hole. Once you have all these holes cut, I got all 6 holes here on the front. You notice some of them are bigger, some of them are smaller, and then I got this 7th hole cut here on the back for the thumb, with the thumb hole facing towards you and towards this black pipe. I'm going to reinstall it into the assembly. Now I have my chanter, all the holes cut, I have everything connected, but I still have to make sure it's finally in tune. So if I blow here with everything open, no fingers on it, I should hear 2 notes about an octave apart, but that sounds terrible. So watch as I adjust on the chanter to get the notes at the same pitch. You can hear them kind of slide into harmony there and match up. And then you're ready to play. If you're paying attention, you'll notice my whole bagpipe, my chanter, was about 305 millimeters. And I'm playing roughly in the key of B flat. So if you want a lower key, you want a longer chanter and drone. If you want a higher key, you want a shorter chanter and drone. So since I'm in the key of B flat here, I showed the different notes. B flat, D, C, etc. And then I'm not telling you the exact distances for your holes because they might be a different length, but if you use this chart with percentages, you can figure out exactly what percent of the way down your chanter you need to put those holes. Here's the diameters of all the holes. All those are in millimeters. And if you're curious, I'm showing here all my frequencies roughly that I was producing, and over here on the right you take your base frequency, that's the fundamental, and you multiply it times these various ratios if you'd like to get the perfect fifth, the perfect fourth, the different intervals between those notes. Here's another shot, just kind of giving the schematic of my whole position, and you can see here's the top up here, there's the bottom of the whistle down there, and the whole The whole chanter is about 305 millimeters. And if you're looking for some more videos and some more information, this guy here, Lindsay Pollock, is a European guy who does some great work with interesting instruments. This guy here, he has a great YouTube channel. He's a Kiwi and he has some great ideas. And then if you're building whistles or bagpipes or all sorts of things, this Italian guy has great suggestions, and you can look exactly how to cut and build these whistles and holes. So take a look. So once your product is finished, here's the finished product. I play you a scale. And I'll give you the whole Amazing Grace song here. That's it.